Hello and good evening, everybody.
Sam Green was just
another episode of the Orta podcast. Clearly, Luke's paying attention, obviously. Grab a brew. We'll see.
Green just.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and then you are listening to the Orta podcast. Let's do this.
What I was trying to say was Greenwood's just been sent off. Red card.
What?
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, so yeah.
Oh,
Has he been a naughty boy?
it went a great challenge, to be honest.
He's been a naughty boy, and just as we've all been watching Academy Dreams as well. Oh, well. How are we all, gentlemen? Are you all well?
Not too bad, thank you very much.
Super.
Nice to see you all after a hectic weekend. Sorry about the lateness. Everyone else is watching Karl waste more time than Villa when he's getting ready for these podcasts. So there we go. Waiting for him to prune himself and get himself ready. Right then, chaps, we may as well crack on. Gilly, let's go to the predictions first. Any changes in the predictions league table?
A little bit. So most people were feeling positive about the result of the weekend. Every single person bar one for a lead win. Jason, obviously, is the one. He's the outlier. Went for a draw. Sees himself go from rock bottom to mid-table.
Wow.
He moved up to 0 points.
Oh, fucking hell.
0 points mid-table.
About to say.
Nah, he's not really mid-table. He's gone up 2 places. I might have over-egged that a little bit, but so just
There's only 5 in the league.
Quick rundown of the table. So we've still got Jay Smarty and the fans top of the league on 7 points. Luke's following them on 5. It's myself and Karl on 4. Stats on 3. Joe from the Just Joe Show on 2. Joint with Si. Bren is on 1. Jason is now on 0. Big Lou on -2. And Scotty from LUTV on -3.
Wow.
There's some proper football knowledge amongst us, like, isn't there?
Yeah. I'd be interested to see where they are sat in their football, the FPL leagues and all that sort of stuff, like, propping up the ball.
Gilly don't like FPL, though.
Yeah, no.
How can you not like that?
I don't know. He doesn't have time for that sort of shit, mate. He's too busy can show. This ticks over nicely and smoothly, doesn't it? He says.
Jimmy on internet, don't they?
So there was no Baradi and Coke at the weekend. Jay got stuck down a well, so wasn't available to do it. I'm hoping he's watching this. To be fair. So yeah, we're going to cover briefly the Villa game on tonight's show, chaps. So we're going to
just chucked a strawberry lace down to get Jay out. Well,
just chucking a shoelace down there. Karl, what did you make of the Villa game then?
Overall, I was happy with the result, but I just thought the ref ruined it. Really, I don't mean to bang on about it. I don't mean to go straight into it, but I don't know. I think the ref. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Fuck it, I just
mean to. I just fucking will.
Yeah. Fuck it, 2-footer. I thought when we went down to 10 men, we played quite well and we held it together a lot better than I thought we would. All right, Jay. And I just thought that if we had 11 men on the pitch for the second half, I feel we could have nicked it. We even had 1 or 2 good chances there towards the end with Click, and there was one with Aronson, and Paddy had an effort. It wasn't your typical playing with 10 men, I think. Considering Villa should have probably beaten us, and they'll probably be a bit more disappointed with the result, I think, than I don't know. I don't speak for all of you, but I'm not very disappointed with that result from being 10 men for the goods of the second half. So overall, I think happy with a point. Disappointed that the ref absolutely made a shambles of the game, and he's not reffing this weekend, apparently. They've taken him out of the limelight. So that says it all, really, in my opinion. and Jesse had a few things to say as well, but I don't think he brought himself into disrepute because he was only bringing up stuff that the Premier League and the Referees Association actually said to managers. So hopefully that gets a little bit more airtime because I think it deserves it, really.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of referees, then, if we were to weigh in on Atwell's performance, Luke, you were there at the game. You made your trip up north to come and. I even saw him. I was looking at my phone at half time. I had this like, Christ alive.
I came looking for you
expect to see
too, Carl, but I hadn't seen you, mate.
So what did you reckon to the rest performance? Do you reckon he could have quite easily got hold of it earlier on? Do you think it got away from him? You know. Let's talk.
Yeah,
about
a couple of things, mate.
You
A couple of. I still feel Sinisterra was prematurely booked for that first challenge. It was his first tackle. You know, it was no malice in it. He slowed play down the first time. Yeah, fair enough. And you couldn't really argue if it was given, but I mean, I didn't really expect it. Is probably what I'd probably say. The second one, stupid. It was a red card, you know, but the inconsistency is what's done me. You know, Ashley Young probably should have been red carded. At least had 2 yellow cards, as should Leon Bailey as well. And I think that's the most frustrating thing about it. It's not. I don't think his performance was bad one way, but the opposite way it was. If it had balanced it out, it'd have been a good referee performance. I think you couldn't have argued, but he didn't. So yeah, I think those 2 decisions massively, and the inconsistency just absolutely fucking mental in this league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's driving fans daft now at the moment. Like,
not even just with referees though, with VAR inconsistencies with a computer. Do you know what I mean? How can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting beyond a joke now, isn't it? I suppose. But like you say, I mean, it only takes. I mean, everyone said it. You know, I haven't really gone on Twitter much. There are other social media platforms available, but I've not been on really much this weekend because everyone's literally saying the same thing. You know, that if the ref books either one of Bailey, Mings, or Young early on, the whole time wasting thing gets cut. That's it, and then it forces them to start playing properly. But it's the warnings. You know, you could see that the ref was speaking to the Villa players. I mean, this isn't all. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are other obviously factors contributing to why we didn't win. You know, we wasted a few chances or whatever. But, you know, when a team openly admits that they come to Ellen Road to slow the pace down, to break up play, to make it harder for us to get that sort of flow coming.
Imagine hearing that at the end of every game as a fan of a club. Us, can you imagine Leeds fans hearing that coming from our manager at the end of a game? We've gone there just to, you know, turn up and try and nick a point and come away with it. Imagine having that sort of attitude towards football, though. Do you know what I mean? It's anti-football. It's wank. Him and Lampard are both the same.
I said it to one of my mates that I go with. I was like, it's embarrassing for Steven Gerrard to produce a footballing team that plays that way, considering the career he had in the teams he played in, and how good he was.
And how good the team is as well. Don't remember. Sorry.
Well, they've spent a serious amount of cash, and
that's a good team that they've got.
Yeah, like
I mean, it was a good team. I mean, it's still better man for man than us, but they did have a few players out. You know, they had the starting left back, didn't they? Digne and Matty Cash was out as well. I mean, they still had a really, really good, strong side. I mean, to bring somebody like Wendier off the bench, do you know what I mean? Danny Ings off the bench and players like that. It just shows the golfing class and the golfing amount of money that's been spent at the clubs. You know what I mean? They would be absolutely gutted that they're lining up before every game away at a team like Leeds, who arguably aren't as good as them on paper, and actually to hear that you're going to go there and play out for a draw. Imagine travelling to an away game. Imagine me going to Palace this weekend and just knowing that we're going to go try and play for a draw, and hearing that come from the manager at the end. How would you fucking feel? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know whether it's something. I mean, I don't watch Villa week in, week out. You know, I barely watch them on match of day whenever they feature. But you know, I can't honestly say that they play like that every week. I wouldn't imagine that they do. But I don't know whether it's a kind of a hidden sort of compliment that, you know, a team comes and has to play that way against us. You know, we've seen it 3 times now: Everton, Wolves, and now Villa. They've come. They tried to disrupt the match. They tried to disrupt the flow of the game. They tried to stop us doing what we're good at, that pressing and that continuous flow of football. So I wouldn't imagine that they play like that every week. But you know, fucking hell, it's anti-football, isn't it?
It's wanky. It's horrible to watch.
We've had 3 home games where teams have done that. Sorry.
Sorry. No, you carry on. It's fine.
He said Gilly, not Gail Platty.
Come on, Gailey.
No, like I was just saying, we've had three teams come to Ellen Road this season and play exactly the same way, and absolutely nothing has been done about it from an authority perspective because it's bullshit. But anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine, mate. No, it's fine. Gilly, give us your thoughts against Villa, mate. Anything else to add?
Try and put a bit of a positive spin on it, I guess. They've said all the things that I would have said from a negative context and standpoint. We're unbeaten. We've got 9 points from 7 games, unbeaten at home. The one side that came and tried to play against us, we absolutely bashed them, and it was Chelsea, and it was lovely. So it's not all bad, is what I'd say. There's been conversations around the defence and what we're going to do about it. Clean sheet against the side that's got a player in it that was 127 million when he signed for Barca not so long since.
170, wasn't
it? Whatever it was, an inordinate sum of money, plus a lot of other investment into that side, and they hit the post. There were a couple of other chances, but I think Rodrigo's chance in the first half was pretty much as good as. I mean, I were on my feet celebrating. I thought it had gone in.
Yeah.
Just about as good as theirs when they hit the post. You look at the stats. The stats look like they were the only team in it, but in the first half, I thought the only real team that looked like they were going to go on and win it from half time were going to be us. I thought we had the ascendancy in the first. I thought they were a better side. So yeah, it's shit. Yeah, we've played Atwell Villa, and it's an horrible spectacle. But at the same time, things could be a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not all wholly positive, but
no.
there's some good.
Given the circumstances.
At 48 minutes, you'd have snapped their hands off, wouldn't you, for a point?
Yeah.
48 minutes when Sinisterra gets sent off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then you look at the chances we had, and you're kind of kicking yourself as well.
I know, mate. I watched it back. I watched
it. You seen Rodrigo's chance?
Yeah.
Man. It just literally just curled out.
Paddy's weren't a bad chance towards the end.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was good,
but yeah, they play good football, don't they?
But I was just
at least
go on.
No, you go. You're fine.
I don't think we played awfully well, but I think a lot of our build-up play was far better than it has been recently. We seem to be using the wings a lot more than we were in other games. Like there was a couple of balls put in. I think was it Strike that put one in for Rodrigo where he just kind of missed it at the front post, and there was a couple of good efforts, and there was another ball put in right across the 6-yard box. But I said if Ayling was on, I reckon he'd have been on the end of that rather than where Christensen was. I think Ayling would have been kind of more further forward, and that's not having a pop at Christensen, but that would just something I observed.
I thought he played pretty well actually, Christensen.
He did. He had one of his bad games.
I didn't think he had a bad game at all.
I'm not saying that he had a bad game. I'm just saying.
No. I know what you mean. I'm just saying, Yeah, you just did it at Leeds. Christensen.
I tell you what, though, how good was it to have fucking Cooper back in that side? How different did we look with him there?
Yeah. Although a lot of people would argue against, probably Jay, saying that saying that it didn't. But you could just tell the difference. At the end of the day, the last game that we played, we lost 5-2 against Brentford, and we just
and he's not the best. He's not the best defender in the fucking world. He's never going to be the best defender in the world. But just bringing that we've all played the sport, haven't we? We've all had a game of football or rugby or whatever. Just having that person beside you who does the hard work and he's not afraid to get stuck in, and he's got that captain's armband on. Just that person coming into the team just brings so much. People don't appreciate how much that actually does bring to a team. You look at some of the good captains over the years, and they haven't been great players. Look at teams like Stoke, who had Robert Huth for ages, and they did quite well under him, because he was a good leader. And it'd take him about fucking 6 weeks to run 100 meters.
I mean, he gets stuck in, and he is a good player. He's a good player, Cooper, and like you say, he's got that calming influence. You don't have Cock and Llorente running around like fucking endless dickheads. You've got that voice at the back, like you said. Just
Cock looked better as well.
Yeah, it is.
Calmness, though, isn't it? It's calmness and it's game management.
Exactly,
And I don't mean game management as in that negative bullshit from Wolves, Everton, Villa. I mean managing the players around you and knowing when to push people on, when to drop off. It's the game management Kevin Sinfield used to do for Rhinos. It's that knowing what to do at any given point and knowing when to give somebody a kick up the arse and knowing when to calm it down. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. Take the sting out of the game, control the pace.
Yeah. So all in all, I think we're all relatively happy, aren't we? Given the outcome, and
I'm not sure about that.
I think at half time,
it could have been a hell of a lot frigging worse, couldn't it? Let's be honest.
I think at half time, I thought we'd probably win at half time until like the start of the second half when Sinisterra gets sent off. Sinisterra looked really dangerous.
Yeah, he looked class, didn't he?
They couldn't get the ball off him.
He twists and turns out of trouble, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
he was very tricky, and he had them on the back.
Horrible to play against, man. Imagine having to try and defend against somebody like him or Raf. You know, they're just fucking horrible to defend against those types of players. Like, you know what I mean?
I would have liked to see him attack Young more.
Yeah. But the other thing is, like, he hasn't had a lot of first team minutes either. When you look at it, you know, he's had the game in the cup, and he started a few one game. He hasn't played a full 90 minutes either, so we've not seen probably him at his peak, at his best at the moment. You know what I mean?
Whopper.
So, is that Whopper?
No, that's Chicken Royale. Whoppers. Do you want to add a
little bit of context before we get to this?
He's not calling his daughter a Whopper.
No. So Burger King said anybody who's got their kid called Whopper gets free food or something. So I convinced my youngest daughter to pretend the name was Whopper in a video and sent it to him, and had a bit of interaction last night.
Proper shit house, didn't they?
Yeah, they asked for the birth certificate. So I basically put anybody who knows me and has done for a set amount of time, just confirm Whopper's name for me below. And everyone's putting, little Whopper, I've seen her for years. I've seen her for 5 years and all this. Pretty good, funny. I'm just waiting for Burger King's response, otherwise I'm going to sue him.
Yeah, you do right, mate. You do right. Right then, I think we're going to move on to the poll. I don't know if you're ready with your little video, Gilly.
Twitter poll results.
And this week, I'm going to hand it over to the very capable Luke.
Thank you ever so much. I completely forgot I was doing it.
Just scrambling to find out what's going on his phone.
Yeah, so every week we ask the listeners to choose a main subject for the main pod every week, and I've just said the same in reverse.
Every week.
So this week it was from the following. It was this week. Time wasting, stick to our guns, or change tactics. Who's the most exciting academy player? Does Paddy start against Palace? And what is Rod's favourite position? Or best position, sorry, not his favourite. His favourite. And the winner this week with an astounding 45% was the first one. Time wasting. Should we stick to our guns? Now, we've covered a bit of this already, haven't we? Fuck and feed 'em rice, we call it. We've covered a bit of this in what we've said about Villa, I think. But I'm going to go to you, Karl, and I'm just going to ask you your thoughts. Do we need to start winning games? Do we need to start shithousing teams and playing boring football? Or do we as fans, we obviously know what we love to see, but what do we need to do?
I think we shithouse enough. There was a couple of tackles and a bit of ruckus. Click could have easily got 2 bookings for in the 15-minute spell that he was on. So I think the shithousing part of it isn't something that we need to work on at all. I think we just need to concentrate on putting the ball in the back of the net whenever we get the opportunities and fuck everything else around us. But that's our issue. When Bamford isn't on the pitch, we don't have someone that looks like they're going to score on a regular basis. And I think I think we should shithouse a little bit more. Like Melier was getting the hang of it towards when Sinisterra got sent off. People were telling him to fucking slow down, and then he was telling the ball boy not to throw the ball back so quickly. And
he was.
you know, And then he was
No
going
ball,
over
no
the other
ball,
side.
no
Yeah.
ball, no ball.
He gave him the right bollocking, didn't he? He's like,
Yeah.
slow it down.
And then he was going the other side of the 6-yard box to take the free.
That was
the kick
ace.
out and
That was the
stuff
biggest
like that. I
cheer
was
of the
like,
day,
yeah.
wasn't it? It was like we scored. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Was it Watkins that went over and put ball on one side, so he went up and picked it up and took it over?
So, like,
Brilliant.
the shithousing we don't seem to have a problem with. That kind of seems to kick in quite naturally. So I think all we should really concentrate on, personally, is not getting involved with the ref. We seem to be doing it a little bit more lately.
Yeah.
I think just let Cooper go to the ref. Just
Does
keep
that-
the players out of it, and then he's going
Does
to
that
ref.
stem? Does that stem? Do you think from the what they get from Jesse Marsh? Obviously, Jesse Marsh got sent off against Brentford. I don't think it's a bad thing. I like the aggression. I think it's needed. And I think it shows passion. I love it. So I've nothing against it. I don't think he should have been sent off, Jesse Marsh. And I also don't think Sinisterra really should have been after that first one. But do you think the players and the style, and like you said, that we're sort of pushing it sometimes, and we are playing probably arguably a lot more aggressive than we did under Bielsa. Do you think that's come from Marsh then? Or do you think it's just the players we've got?
I think it has come from Marsh in a certain sense. He's made it very clear what he likes to get from his teams, and I think if you're not putting what he wants on the pitch, he's not going to play you. Like, so you're going to have that aggression and whatnot. But I just think when I was talking about the ref and not, surround, I'm all for the aggression. I'm all for getting in players' faces and everything like that. But when it comes to surrounding the ref, let the other team do that. Let them talk shit to him, and then just send Cooper in to maybe have our say on it, and let the players just stay away from it. But when it comes to player thing,
absolutely
get onto
not.
him.
Absolutely
look,
not.
man.
If they're that fucking shit, give them what for?
That's very true. But at the same time, you're taking away from the fact that you're trying to concentrate on scoring when that seems to be our biggest issue. And I think getting involved, the ref, for me, it's pointless, because he's already made his mind up no matter what. He's blowing the whistle. You're not going to change his mind. He's going to
right,
the thing is, when the ref gave the red card against Sinisterra, though, you saw the whole Villa players around him, and he put his. I think he must have even forgotten that he'd given him the
because he looks around.
Card, he kind of gave him a yellow, then kind of backed off. Then they were all bleating at him. They went, "Oh, okay, red card."
But that's not down
so
to
you
the
can't tell me
players.
that it's not influenced by. I mean, obviously he made a mistake, but we've seen it time and time again. Other teams will come around and surround the referee and give him what for. And it's down to, I suppose, the personality of the referee or whatever. But you can't tell me that they're not influenced at all by that.
I'm not saying that they're not, but I just think on Atwell's behalf on Saturday, that was sheer incompetence and not being good at your job. That had nothing to do with the Villa players. If he was on the ball and he noticed that, then he'd have known straight away.
There's a rumor going round, isn't there? That is all his family are Villa fans, and he's a big Scum fan.
Yeah,
what I saw is that he's a Luton fan, but his family are all Villa fans, which I didn't really get.
No, I saw Scum
close,
one.
is it? So I kind of get where you're coming from, Carl, but still, if the ref's being a shithouse, tell him he's being a shithouse.
Yeah, but
shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, well, just let Cooper do it. Just let Cooper go up and go, look, you're a shithouse today, man. And
I've been sent off by more refs for stuff like that. Me in my career of rugby and football. I swear, I refs through my head in, man. Honestly, I fucking hate refs. They're just like the shit failed footballers who got picked last. That's what they are.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, there is a balance to that in that we really don't have a game.
I don't mean all refs. If anybody's watching this and there's a referee, don't. I didn't mean it personally. It weren't personal, okay?
It is referees.
And we do have a very nice ref that's joined us on a podcast.
Yeah, of course. No,
so.
Some of them love me for my aggression.
Luke only did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
She sacked him off after that.
Some refs absolutely love you for it, don't they? For being like a bit of a dick and like gobby and getting stuck in and that. But most refs fucking hate it, and when they're shit as well.
It's character, though, isn't it? If you find a ref with character, you can get away with all of that mouthing and stuff. Because they know that he's not serious
have a bit of a laugh
anyway.
And give him a wink on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the thing that the issue with that though is, Gilly, that'll work Sunday league, but when there's millions of people watching you on the TV, it's not going to fly. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to get fined, and you're going to get.
We only get shit refs, and we need to tell them about it.
Yeah, let's tell them.
I think for my opinion is if a player boils over because the ref's being shit, I've got no issue in telling the ref that he's being shit.
Yeah.
No, but is it worth the? I can see where Carl's coming from. Is it worth the red yellow card or the red card? Do you know what I mean? Now Sinistera misses next game. Do you know what I mean?
He does, but not because of any shit that he gave ref.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you were to get a silly booking for something like that, or even a red like Jesse Marsh did, he wasn't in the stands. I mean, it's not so much important with Jesse, but if a player was to get, I completely get where Carl's coming from. But I'm all about your style. Me fucking tell him getting told.
But players don't get told though. It's like the Villa fans were constantly. McGinn was constantly in Atwell's ear all game.
He's an
just
horrible
chomping at him all the time.
He's got the weirdest shaped head I've ever seen.
He's a proper ugly bastard. But if a referee's not going to brandish a card or tell him, look, fuck off, let me referee this game. If you do it again, I'm going to send you off or blah, blah, blah. Do they exist? Do those referees exist? Who knows? Who knows? So you're well within your rights to go and scream and kick off and call the referee a prick.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do exist. Absolutely. They're just in rugby
very
league.
Rare.
Well, in a proper sport, yeah.
even in rugby league, they're still shite as well. To be fair, the video refs
they're much better than football refs, aren't they?
They command more respect and they manage a game. So they manage the players and they don't have any shit coming back to them. That's all I meant.
No, they don't. But they're not. They're still wankers.
Yeah.
I suppose
the majority of them.
The question for the poll though is how do we manage that sort of game though from a Leeds perspective? Should we encounter any more teams? There's plenty to come. Now, obviously, his next home games against Arsenal.
Gung ho, do you think?
Well, I don't know because I think it depends now what sort of team we're playing because obviously Arsenal aren't going to come to Ellen Road and play that sort of shithousing game. They're going to want to put us to the sword and are going to want to play football. But whereas you might get a Palace at home or a Bournemouth or them sort of teams may sort of adopt them sort of tactics and come to Ellen Road and try and do the same. So at that point, where do we go? Right, we need to change tact because what we are doing isn't right. We get pissed off. We're going potentially players going to get sent off. Fucking if Jesse Marsh had been on side at pitch on Sunday, God knows what happened there.
Yeah,
God knows.
Who was on the side? Who was it? Was it Jacko?
No, it was the other fella.
Oh, the guy from Borussia Dortmand. What's his name?
I would have fucking East Stand.
Yeah.
I couldn't see a thing.
You're getting nosebleeds up there, were
you? Yeah.
That's snow in his head. But yeah, I think somehow we need to change tacts, and I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Inside Ellen Road training, and in the interview, I'm a lot tonight. I apologise. Jesse Marsh has come out and said that they've.
No, it'll have been married, won't it?
Yeah, that's him. Marsh came out and said that they're practicing going down to 10 men, sort of stuff. So if they're practicing all them sort of likely outcomes, then why aren't we now starting to look at, right, we're going to get shithoused in all these fucking games at home. Teams are going to come to Ellen Road and try and shithouse a win or shithouse a point. We need to change tact and we need to change our way of addressing them sort of situations to benefit us rather than to benefit that team.
I think we've got to
don't know if you guys agree.
Games. I think we've got to have a few at home. Absolutely not. We all want to see. We want to see 33,000 home fans watching exciting football. Nobody wants to go watch fucking bored. Teams playing for slowing the pace down and that. I mean, second half we did because we'd gone down to 10. If we were at 11 men and we were playing like that, would we have been cheering? Absolutely not.
I don't think so. I don't think we'd have been happy with a draw against 11 Villa players, and that's why I think.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ringing any bells?
Yeah. Well, like to change where we're at and how to get around that. I think, like, I know it sounds a bit wishy-washy or whatever, but I think staying out of the ref's face in scenarios like that is like Jesse gets the opportunity to have a talk with him going down the tunnel at half-time. Say to him,
but you're not going to win a game like that, though, Carl.
Like,
you're not going to win a game by giving the referees his space and his distance and letting all the other teams' players surround him and fucking give him a quick.
But at the end of the day,
look at all. No. Look at all of the sides that have had success in English football in recent times, and you look at what the scum did. You look at what Chelsea did. You look at what Liverpool do. They dominate refs and they don't let them get away with shit.
But that doesn't work for us. You're forgetting the main.
It's not
point,
right.
lads. The FA hates us.
So we just
Yeah,
step
but we
up
don't
and
get
let him be
it
shit and never say out.
But the FA hate us. Well, it's not going to get us anywhere. We're pissing into the wind and getting our shoes wet. And someone beside me is telling me that.
So what you're saying is, so the players wanting to air their frustrations, and we've got to tell them not to, even though it's not going to benefit us either way.
It's not.
I don't get it. I'm not with you. I'm not with you at all.
But if we're not getting anything out of it either way, what's the fucking point in putting us in the
I
firing
can
line
see.
with
I can
refs?
see both your points of view. Just to go back,
I'm not
round
saying
full
that yours
circle,
is wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying my point is that we need to do that rather than fucking piss the ref off. Because what are you going to do? Like if it's not getting us anywhere, what's the fucking?
It's
point
almost
in doing
like
it?
head and heart. Like Carl, you don't want to get pick up bookings, and you're not going. You know what I mean? You don't want to be getting.
Carl's the Bielsa of the group who wants to do things properly and do things by the book, and that's admirable. It is, and I agree. That's how it should be done. But at the end of the day, you know, there's got to be two dogs in the fight, and if you're letting the opposition surround the referees and let them, you know, say what they want, and you're not having a representative there in front of the ref saying, "Hold on a minute, that's fucking wrong."
Yeah, I get that. But I also think that if we do enough shithousing throughout the 90 minutes without having the ref involved in any of it, then I think that's psychologically way more fucking influential on our team and the crowd than surrounding the ref and giving them shit when it's going to get us nowhere anyway. But that's I'm not saying anyone's opinion is wrong or anything. I just think that's how.
No.
You know.
So just to go back to the poll.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the poll. The speed.
That's what we're doing. We're discussing how we get around it.
I did try. The poll's not my bit this week, and I did try getting us back. How do we beat teams like that? How do we beat teams like that? Fuck the ref. Can't influence the ref. Right, we'll leave that bit for now.
Carl's just given his question and answer about 16 times over.
Well,
so, in answer to that question, I think the approach of trying to be direct plays into the hands of teams that are wanting to do that. Because in trying to be direct, trying to get the ball forward quickly, if we're playing a team that's wanting to play against us, then we end up with the Chelsea. If we're playing against a team that's wanting to just kill the game, and we're presenting possession to them because we're playing those percentage passes into an area that we're going to try and then press, but all they're going to do is kick it long. All they're going to do is kick it out. They're just going to play, dive on the floor like Villa did, like Wolves did, like Everton did, just spoil the tactics completely. Then that direct form of football plays into their hands. They know that all they've got to do is nick the ball off us, and then there's another 5 minutes gone of the game, and all they're doing is chunking the game up, spoiling, slowing it down, stopping us building a head of steam. If we get a goal or two in front, you see an entirely different game. But playing that attacking direct football that Marsh likes his teams to play, I'm not certain that works against those sides that are going to play spoiler tactics against us. And that's why you end up with a Chelsea that is so completely different to the performances that we've had against the other sides at home. Because it's the one outlier. You look at the other sides that I just mentioned, the games are chalk and cheese. They're incomparable. And that's why, because we're able to get the ball quick, interfere, move it forward.
Is that good? I know it's shit management, but is it good management for the opposition team? They know that they're going to come there.
Yeah.
Take a point. And it is horrible to watch.
No, that's their best chance of getting anything out of that game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
teams will you look at fucking death.
Yeah, but you look at your Pulises, you look at your Allardyces, and you look at the managers that have built careers on shit football. 4-4-2, Dyche ball. And what you've got managers that haven't spent a lot of money that have built careers on spoiling games. And that's what everybody looks at. They come to Leeds, they know they're in. Yeah, they're going to get rolled over if they try and match us up for athleticism. Because you look at your Man Cities and so on, they're going to come and they're going to try and beat us with class. Let's face it, they're going to hammer us. But you look at anybody from 8th in the league down, they're looking at us going, fucking hell, if we try and go toe-to-toe with them, they're just going to run ranks around us. So they spoil it instead. Do you think this is a continuation of Bielsa's fitness and drills and stuff? Do you think that's why we're still so energetic? And I know we've got half the squad's new, but Jesse Marsh said when he was coming, he's very similar to his styles in a way, in terms of the press.
The anti-press is similar, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I really like Jesse Marsh. He's really won me over, and I think the style of football that we're playing has been a good continuation. We haven't seen the penis formation, very rarely. We haven't needed to see it. He's stuck to the wide.
Yeah.
Our best football's played when we play with the 4, the 2 pivots, and then 3 behind a 1. He hasn't needed to go to the penis formation at all, because I think that limits us. So yeah, it's draining watching teams coming to spoil,
And
because we just want to see
that,
an open game.
Yeah, just on that. So Premier's Ghost asked, how much time did they waste? Exactly seemed like a good 30 minutes. The average the ball has been in play this season across all games is 55 minutes.
In play.
65 at City, and I think every City game's a little bit averaged higher.
55 minutes.
Villa's a 50 minutes average, Villa.
It's horrendous. I mean, that it's ruining what is the sport we all love. It's not a spectator sport anymore. If all you're doing is watching somebody going and picking a ball up and then arsing about with it for 5 minutes, that's not what we love, is it?
Yeah.
It's shocking, isn't it? Really, no one wants to see that. But teams don't give a shit anymore, do they?
So maybe it's
not
not.
for half your money back for a ticket.
They'll sell the souls. They'll sell the grannies to get a win or to get a point. They'll do it. It doesn't matter how they'll do it. You had such a pure soul in Bielsa who wanted to play football as it should be. And then you get fucking absolute pump holes like Gerrard and his shitty fucking mate
Dean
Bruno
Smith.
Lag, who was absolutely jobless, by the way. Fuck you. They come to Ellen Road and try and shithouse it. I mean, it didn't do Wolves any good. It didn't do Everton any good, and it certainly didn't do Villa any good. I mean, Villa had the best opportunities out of all of them because we were down to chuffing 10 men. But at what point do you draw the line, But I don't think it's going to be the last time that we see that sort of stuff here.
So what do we do then to
I don't think it changes anything.
That's what we've just been asking, Carl.
It's a style.
what
It's
do we
style,
do?
isn't it? He's not going to change fuck all.
Yeah, but that's not the question you were answering.
I answered a few questions.
Cheers for coming, Carl.
Not all relevant, but I did answer a few.
Loves to talk
Who
about
starts
the
going
ref.
on about chasing referee?
Yeah, but you were at the thing is, we asked what the poll one was like, what the fuck do we do to change how we're fucking going about things? And it was like, one, we could stay away from the prick and do ourselves a favor by not getting wound up by him because he's playing
I know
shit.
you've told me, Carl.
There you go.
You're telling it again.
I'm not going to tell you again. You're just making out that I didn't fucking answer any of the question, you dicks. Anyway, carry on.
But let's take it. Let's put it to a quick vote. Who thinks we should change to try and pick up a shitty point away games, or do you want to just carry on how we are and try winning games?
I think it's different if you're away. If you're away, you'll do all. You're not pulling in front of your own fans. You don't give a shit about impressing fucking away fans, do you? It's different if you're away. You won't want to do it at home, and I guarantee Villa don't play like that at home.
But it also depends on who you're playing against, doesn't it? If we go to Arsenal, who try to play football, we go to Anfield, we go to Man City Stadium.
We'll still play the same style, though. We won't set up.
We will do, yeah.
Yeah, but
the question. Sorry,
if we went and tried to change that tactics and we tried to play a bit closer, narrow the field, try and play through the centre, try and be compact, not get beaten, maybe Pox a win against those teams, then you take that. But I think that I don't expect us to do it. But what I'm saying is, if that was the outcome of that, you kind of take that. Now, Villa
narrow formation does fuck all. It's been proven it's shite.
I don't mean the penis formation. I just mean narrowing it so that they don't have so much width. It's playing in such a way that they're not going to dominate you on the wings and so on. Villa fans looking at that, thinking, "Fucking, we're doing that with Leeds. We want to be better than them."
Exactly.
We're talking about doing that with Champions League teams.
I said,
It's a massive compliment.
Yeah,
and we can throw it around everywhere. Fucking Twitter, fucking in person, because teams don't want to come to Ellen Road. They just they dread it.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you do stuff like that,
we've got to give them all sorts of shit, haven't we?
Yeah.
If you've got a team that comes to Ellen Road and does that sort and plays that way, it kills crowd because quiet. It did go a little bit quiet when it started. They were blowing every 5 fucking minutes, and it sucked the life out of the crowd. So and as far as they're concerned, Gerrard, that's a ticking box. You killed the crowd off. We're going to bore these fuckers to death. So we haven't got that to deal with, and then we're going to start picking these pricks off because they're going to start, lumping it around, and it worked, didn't it? It tried to do a job on us, and it nearly worked.
It was frustrating.
And that's what we've got to stop. We've got to stop it somehow. Jason Marshall's got to come up with a better.
I think it did work.
Better ideas.
I know you say nearly worked. I think it did work. I think if you offer Gerrard,
they didn't get a win, did it?
Game, yeah, but they snap your hand off for the point before the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying it'd have been mission accomplished if they'd have come and bagged 3 points. So it nearly worked, but it didn't work.
They should have taken 3 points after 48 minutes, shouldn't they?
Have we lost Gilly?
No,
he's
He's just bewildered as to what your point
He
is.
froze them. But I think we've kind of covered this. We've kind of not. I don't think
there's no right answer, is there?
It's down to win. Somehow it's got to change potentially to face teams like that. But fuck knows, we're not master tacticians or not like that. We don't know. We don't get paid to play football. No. So frig knows. Should we go to a little ad from our sponsors?
Oh shit!
And then we'll go into
CBD are a family company with a local shop feel and exist to continue to promote the obvious and immediate benefits of CBD products while keeping the cost to you, the consumer, as low as possible. You'll find multiple flavours available on our site, answers to frequently asked questions and suggestions on what is right for you, as well as a web form for you to get in touch. There's free delivery on orders over £50, and don't forget to use the Orta No Better discount code of OKB10 for 10% discount of all products. Lastly, a portion of all profits will be donated to mental health charities.
How many orders have you actually had through OKB?
None.
The sponsor.
I don't know, mate. I'll have to have a look. Not millions, but everyone. It's not about that. I'm just happy for everybody who does support it, even with retweets and likes and that. It's getting there, mate. It's steady away. Just had a cafe and put an order in last week, and I think like a crazy cafe, and they do like high teas and herbal teas and that, and they've started using my products now. So yeah, it's getting there, mate. Thank you. Good.
Well, if you are in for CBD, you get yourself over there. It's some quality stuff.
Some reach stuff.
Some proper good stuff. some rate gear. Anyway, chaps, this weekend we are on our way down south to a specific little city.
We're in London. That's the fucking difference.
Bingo, there he is. So
right on time. Right on
Patrick Vieira's Palace.
Giving it up.
Hoping that, well, I don't know. I mean, I've got things to say about it, but I'm going to come to you straight away, Gail. His name went out of my head for a reason. Sorry,
it seemed like you wanted to say Gilly there, but it just, I don't know.
Is that going to you then, Gail?
How do you think we're going to perform? What sort of formation? What sort of team? Does Patrick Bamford start? Who knows? What do you think?
I'd like to think that we should start Patrick Bamford and give him maybe 70 minutes, 75 minutes, if he can last that long. I think so, man. I think with 11 men on the pitch on Saturday. What the fuck? With them on the pitch on Saturday, he looked in good shape, and we looked more assertive going forward. We were able to play the ball forward to have someone to hold it up and stuff like that. So he's losing the shit. He's watching something there in the background or something.
No, laughing at you.
What the fuck?
Hey, what the fuck?
70 minutes? What the fuck?
It's not going away, that.
We need to clip it. We need to go back and clip it.
I think he has done it already. I'd like to see him start genuinely, just to give us the kind of best footing going forward, just from the get-go for a change.
Are you dropping Rodrigo then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't have Sinisterra, so why would you drop Rodrigo?
Oh, we don't have Sinisterra. That's true. Yeah, excuse me. Rodrigo in behind Bamford then, and Aronson kind of playing out wide.
To be fair, Aronson started the season outright really well. So I won't be worried about seeing him out there. He played properly well first couple
The
of
other
games.
thing as well, I think he got fairly kicked about the place there on Saturday because he seemed to come in a lot more central throughout the first half, and then he wasn't able to use the wings properly in the second half. But
no, he played on the wing. We played without a centre attacking midfielder
in the second half.
In the second half, we played 4-2-2-1.
Yeah.
But whichever side, if you watched it, whichever side had the ball, the left, say the ball was in their left back, then they sort of moved over, and Harrison moved into the 10, and we still had a right winger. And then on the opposite side, Harrison moved back out to the wing, and Aronson moved back into the 10. So those two got through some. I'd love to see the fucking yardage them two ran at the weekend.
Yeah,
well, that's what I was kind of saying, was that he didn't get to take advantage of playing on the right wing in the second half.
No, absolutely.
Where, so it'd be nice to see him against a Palace team where he's got the likes of Bamford to even play off, like, because Bamford, he holds the ball up, he gets the odd flick here and there, and Aronson's that kind of pacey player who likes to play in off the striker if he gets a chance in that position. So that's why I'd like to see Bamford start. I think he's just more of a target man than Rodrigo. We seem to be far more direct when Rodrigo is playing than we do when Bamford's playing. And
he hassles defences, doesn't he, Bamford? He makes a nuisance of himself and pulls them
he's
around
a bigger
all
lad,
the
isn't he? He's a bit of a bully. He's a big centre forward. He's exactly that, isn't he? Like,
he's deceptively quick as well, isn't he? I think if we saw, I think he would, even with Dan James at the side when they were doing when we were looking at the speeds, he was the fastest in the side on match day in a match.
He did mention that
like top speed or something.
Yeah, he did mention that on the Leeds United podcast. To be fair,
has Dan James played for Fulham yet?
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah.
How's he getting on? Anyone know? I've not really noticed anything.
I don't know, but I know of one Fulham fan at least that's come out and said that he thinks that he's got a new player to hate in Dan James.
Really?
Yeah.
I did hear that as well. Yeah.
Apparently so.
Right.
So, which is positive, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly, we've got something in common with the Fulham fans now. Not everyone.
I like Dan James.
I
Me
like
too.
Dan James.
I like him.
Yeah.
I liked him. Not the best on the ball. Kind of a Harry Sacco-esque, with his output or whatever. But yeah, I liked him. I thought he was aggressive.
How many games do you reckon he actually played for us on the wing that we signed him for?
Oh,
3.
hardly any.
Yeah. Hardly
Not a
any,
lot,
I'd
did
say.
he? He didn't really get a chance. I felt for him, however it happened. But yeah, I felt for him a little bit because he clearly loves it here. He wanted to come here first time round and everything. He's had a rough few years, hasn't he? I think in terms of sort of his direction and where he wants to be and what he wants to be doing. And I still think it was a weird option to loan him out now. I just can't see the benefit in it unless there's a large option to buy or whatever it is. I
think the debacle with him not signing the first time, I think that had a massive effect on his development because he was a different type of player before he went to Scum, and then he leaves Scum and he's not the same. He wasn't the same type of player when he came from Scum. Like, no. I think that if he had come to us at the time when he was meant to, I think his development would have skyrocketed him far.
Before Solskjaer got his claws into him.
2 years of that
world class manager.
Yeah. It's like, no, lads.
Been snapped up ever since, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm expecting. I'm liking the whole Adams and Rocker partnership as well in the middle. Them two are pretty solid. They don't get.
It pointed out to me actually at weekend how much we missed Rocker as soon as he went off, and we really did. And I think their partnership is really positive. I think if we lose either of them, so we were saying before about all right, Calvin's moved on, but we've got Adams and we've got Rocker. We need them both. Especially with Biscuit Ankles Forshaw being back up to that. So who's unavailable again for Palace, as I understand it.
Mr. Is it 50-odd games in 5 years he's played or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Who's that?
Forshaw. So he'd be. I guess he'd be the closest we've got to a replacement for Adams. I know he's not going to get around the pitch but he's probably the closest we've got. And Click will probably be the closest we've Tucker. We need them both. So, yeah, I don't know. But it is a good partnership.
Tyler Adams.
Yeah,
It's
it is a
quality,
good
innit?
partnership.
I could honestly, I could
quality.
just fucking watch him all day. He's just
Yeah,
player
there's so many.
receivers
He's
so far.
everywhere. He's everywhere. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and Rocker did lose ball a few times, but you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to, that ball recovery. He's trying to progress that play. And when you're literally swamped with players in middle, as that's what they were doing. They were literally just crowding middle out, and then shithousing it, falling over each other, and throwing themselves on the floor and all that sort of stuff. But you can see what they were trying to do, and it didn't happen on Sunday. But against teams like Chelsea and other teams that play a little bit more open and stuff like that. He's so effective in what he does, especially with Bamford.
Someone's getting their cherry pop tonight, lads.
Oh, can you give a shout out to Bill, 84-year-old Gentime looking after tonight? Proud Yorkshireman, lifelong Leeds fan and OKB virgin. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Bill.
Hey up, Bill.
Hope you're well. I hope Emmy Lou's looking after you well. Not too well.
Beer.
I'm sorry.
You dirty old bastard. Not you, Bill. Smarty.
Dirty fecker. You dirty fecker. Only tea bags I've been playing with. Anyway, so predictions then for the Palace game. Hopefully a little bit more positive. However, it is a bit of an hard place to go to, and it's Selhurst Park. We don't seem to do too well.
Orta no better predictions.
I can't find a gap, but you kept starting again.
I know.
We've got to be the most unprofessional fucking type of.
We're just a bunch of idiots, aren't we?
We just do what
That's
we want.
That's what happens. I think really going forward, should press the buttons. Probably. It might. We live and learn, don't we?
None of us can fucking multitask, so we'll be fucking waiting for half an hour anyway.
What are you eating again this week, man? What the
M&M peanuts, mate. I've got a full fucking bag.
Honestly.
I'm on my last ball.
Gilly, predictions. Over to you, my friend.
We're on it. So, come round.
Sorry, Bill. Bill won't be coming back.
I'll go around in the order I've written the names down. So, Luke, Palace at the weekend. What do we think?
Yeah, mate. I'll meet you there. Oh, what's the
Are you
score?
okay? Do you need to reset
please.
yourself?
We're doing predictions now, Luke.
Right, George.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds.
Okay, thank you very much, Carl.
2-2.
Esmond.
Mm-hmm.
Marty.
Oh, Christ, that went on. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
2-0.
2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
I've gone 2-1 Leeds. Who was first in the fans? Because I can see a couple of comments, but I've not switched across to it yet.
I don't think we have we?
Alison going 2-1 to them.
2-1.
Oh!
Alison. Long-time friend of the pod. What the fuck is
She
that?
always goes for a proper negative result, Alison.
Bloody bad, Alison.
I wonder if it's like a bit of reverse psychology.
Is that what it is?
I think it might be, Yeah.
But she's saved
I
it
don't
in there, so
actually
disappointed.
that, surely.
So I guess the good news is, not good for him, but in terms of the picture at the weekend, Nathaniel Klein got stretchered off at the weekend against Chelsea. Looks like he might be out for a few weeks. So, but Villa at the weekend didn't have any defenders to play other than Tyrone Mings, and we didn't really take advantage of that. So,
Yeah, that's also true. But they don't have Conor Gallagher, so that's okay. We've already beat the team he was in. So
didn't he score a pearler against him as well?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, he didn't celebrate either.
But like Calvin Phillips, when he comes on for 5 minutes versus us against City, he'll put come on and ping in or something like that.
You've just killed Gilly's mood there, Smarty, man. He was in great.
Sorry.
He had a big smile on his fucking face there, and then you said that and just went.
He'll still be injured by then anyway. We don't have Orta winning that.
Yeah, that's true.
Ireland will have already bagged. He'll have already bagged 2 hat-tricks with Ireland.
They've only scored
3 at home.
Oh, they've scored a few. They've only got 6 points. Palace. They've only won 1 all season, and they've drawn.
The
3.
game in hand as well. Are they 7
they
played
played
as well?
7. Yeah, we both played 7.
Yeah. So So there we go.
Yeah. So
But
I think it's not a nice place to go. It's fucking deep down, fucking London.
London.
Shuffling.
Yeah. It's not.
Don't
nice.
convince
I'm going
yourself,
now.
lads. We aren't.
What?
I've gone 2-1 us, but I can't see us getting out.
Yeah, I've said same. We'll probably lose. We're probably not going to lose, but it is what it is.
What? All right. So now we've given our predictions. What do we actually think is going to happen?
I think that they'll want to play football against us. I think they'll try and play football against us, and that might work in our favour, which is why I've gone 2-1. If it does work in our favour, we'll be all right. But it is Alison said in the comments, it is a hard place to go, and they do. Our last 4 matches, their last 4, they've lost 2, drawn 2. We've lost 2, drawn 2. So it's not. We're not going to see a brilliant game. And I hope now that I've said that, it's amazing and you can all laugh at me because then at least we've got a good game.
Inside. I think you're wrong. I think we'll see a good game of football.
Palace are arguably one of the best football sides in the league, are they? They are right up there. They're not always that convincing. If they had,
but they try and play, don't they? They do try and play. I know.
They do play some really nice stuff. But like you said, that might work in our favour. But if we don't take our chances, which
that could happen.
I think we're going to get pumped. That could not happen.
Their best player has built a career on being a diver.
Yeah.
This is the thing as well. Like, you've got Saha.
Oh, they'll get a lot as well down there.
Like, who the fuck is going to be refereeing this game? Like,
I'm going to try and find out for you now.
I think it has been announced
earlier that I can't find.
Yeah, it was.
It's probably a Palace fan. His dad's a Palace fan or something like that.
Well, he was conceived in the shadows.
He supports Oxford, but his entire family are Palace fans.
Yeah.
Keep pet eagles in the back garden and that.
Yeah.
Spray paint and fucking purple, whatever, red and blue.
Right, so I'll get everybody else's predictions from groups and the various odds and the pod and whatever else. So we'll sort that out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share them before the game for the next one. We'll make a bit more of a deal of it because everybody's been asking me, where am I at league? And I've been a bit shit with it. So I'll be sharing it in advance so that people see the predictions, get involved and whatever else.
Good man. Good man. A few of us are reconvening tomorrow. As some of you know, we've got Brian McDermott coming to talk to me, Gilly and Luke tomorrow. So if you are planning on coming and watching, that's going to be a live podcast as well. At the bottom of your little screen there, you'll see a little Gmail account. If you've got any questions that you want to get to Brian, we're going to pick a few out from the fans and from the listeners and all that sort of stuff. So get them fired in.
Just a quick straw poll of people watching as well. So bearing in mind my hairstyle, Luke's hairstyle and Brian's hairstyle, I think that we should petition for Smarty to join us for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'll put a shower cap on or something.
I'm really glad I'm not in on this one. You're
like a surfboard.
That's going to be going around. Just point lights away from me, lads. That's all I'll say. All right, just point lights away.
Why do you think that one's wearing hats?
Yeah,
I've created the thingy tomorrow. It's already live. I might recall it bloody Smarty and the 3 disco balls or something like that.
Smarty and right said Fred.
Yeah, right and left said Fred.
And left said Fred.
What time are we on Smarty tomorrow? Same to 7:45.
Looking to go live at 8:15, but given what we normally do, it'd probably be more 8:30 to be fair. But yeah, we're going to try and get on as close to 8:15 as we can. So like I say, you've got roughly 23 hours to get your questions in. We're going to review them. We're going to stick some together. We will be obviously letting people interact with him through the comments as long as there's no, silly stuff. But no, it should be good. So if you are planning on watching, it's we can't wait. Obviously, it's a hell
if anybody's listening to the audio of this, the email address is ortaknowbetterpod@gmail.com if you want to send one. And you're listening to us and not watching because it's on a fucking visual and it's mine.
Although that said, this will probably end up coming out next week.
No, because it's
of shit. Well, I won't blame anyone else.
Force it through.
All right, okay. So yes, ortaknowbetterpod@gmail.com is where to send your questions in. So So unless anyone's got a, I don't know, bitter or anything like that, I don't
We've
know,
pretty much
chat,
ranted all night, haven't we?
I think so. I think we may have covered everything. I'll let you hit the outro, Gilly, but I suppose I think that's us done, lads. I mean, it's not been the best show. We've
Big
rambled.
Sam for Wolves. Hang on.
Hey?
Big
Is that
Sam
valid?
for Wolves.
After Wolves?
Oh,
No,
No
surely
way.
not.
Is that just
that's
an
a-
opinion? That can't be fact. That surely
It
not.
has to be.
That's got a Warnock job written all over it. One last job,
No
Sharon.
chance. Maybe
Surely
two
not.
shots.
Has anyone had a look?
Fucking hell.
I did see a couple of comments earlier that I just wanted.
Do you know what? I've just googled Allardyce and Wolves, and apparently he's a Wolves fan.
Oh Christ!
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Steve
gonna stay up.
Morrison. Steve Morrison's looking for a job.
Wolves
Hawk.
will stay up, man. I'm telling you.
The
Yeah,
Hawk.
do you reckon who's going down? Do we reckon at this stage before we just finish between the lot of us?
I think if you look at
Forest.
I thought Leicester were going to be down there, and then you look at what they did to Forest, and
Yeah.
I think Forest are gone. I certainly think that they're going to be swapping gaffers before we get to end of January. But I think they've got much a chance of doing anything this season. So personally, I think Wolves are in bother. For me, Southampton are in bother, but I think they'll just stay up, and it'll be Bournemouth that join Forest.
Forest and Wolves. So you think Forest, Wolves, and Southampton? Oh no, sorry.
Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth.
Leicester
think
are
Fulham will stay
out
up?
of the dark, yeah.
I think Leicester. I still think Leicester will fuck up. I think
Leicester are out
they've
of
only
the,
played. They've only played.
Oh, Leicester are out of it.
in a derby.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Fulham as
ages
well,
left of the
lads.
season. We're only 8 games in. I know
Right.
it's really premature. Like,
But you look at
I think-
Maddison and you look at Barnes and you look at Vardy and Daka, they've got enough in them out of that. Whereas you look
There's
at
only
some of the
6
other
points.
sides and
there's only 6 points separates relegation zone from Europe at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very early on.
So,
And Forest could field the other 11 players that they've got hiding in the wings as well. You know, they could completely change the team around.
yeah,
You know, so
Literally.
I think they'll get
Yeah.
rid of. I think they'll get rid of that manager, me.
Cooper.
I do.
Oh, Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah.
I
Really?
don't think they should. I just think they will.
Your man's got a bit of a trigger happy thing. The owner, he's hired and sacked like 7 managers in 10 years for Olympiacos. Or
And
something.
the owner, the guys who have just sacked Corberan.
From
Over
Huddersfield.
in,
From Olympiacos, yeah.
Olympiacos.
He owns Forest as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You never know. McCardigan,
But,
bloody
you know,
Parker could.
they've got a
could
lot
come
of-
back.
They've got a lot of players and they've got a lot of money. Do you know? I would be shocked if somebody don't make big moves for Benitez.
Really?
What, Forest?
I seen a
Newcastle
rumour
got him
around
when
that.
they were shit.
Yeah.
Newcastle kept him when they were shit. They went down and
He
kept
loves
him.
money, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves his fucking dough, does Benitez.
When he loves English football, any of
Yeah,
those sides
true.
down there would do a lot in bringing him in.
Would
I
you
think
have
true,
him if
but-
Jesse got the boot?
No.
Probably not, no.
Loves English football. Great man. No.
I don't personally want him, but
No.
you know, shit outside like that, yeah.
You'd like to think that we've, you know, like Barcelona, have adopted that kind of playing style, which Benitez just does not fit into. You know,
They'll be one of those
Barcelona.
teams that turns it around. They'll be one of those teams that just they bring a manager in, they turn it around, and they'll fly up and finish middle of the table, mid to lower the table. You know,
And they get
Like
relegated.
Palace did when they brought Vieira in.
yeah. But then
I don't disagree.
I think you're right. There's three of those. I think Bournemouth are overachieving at the minute, so I think they've got a long way to drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Fulham.
you're probably right.
Mitrovic
Between
is
those
out
three-
for Fulham as well now, isn't
Yeah,
He's here.
So I think,
That's a big deal for them.
he? Yeah.
I think the bottom 5 will be Bournemouth, Southampton, Wolves, Leicester, Forest.
You don't think we'll be in there?
So as it is now,
I
then.
think. So as it, no, it's not. Palace are in 17th and Bournemouth are 13th at the minute.
Oh,
Swap
yeah,
them
it's
two
right.
round.
They'll
And then,
swap
yeah.
place. Yeah.
Just based
Yeah.
on the football that I've seen, I don't think we've got much to worry about. I'll be honest with you. I think we will sign somebody in January. I think we'll finish. I think we'll probably be 14th 15th, maybe.
I think between 12th and 9th we'll finish this season.
Do you really?
Reckon?
I'd fucking snap your hand off.
I'll snap your hand off for 17th.
10th and 4th. I'm
If you
thinking
guaranteed
10th
me now, I'd
and
take it.
14th. Would you? I wouldn't. Fuck that. I ain't going
Yeah.
through another pissing season like last season. Fuck no.
No, but if they offered you 17th now to end the season,
If it were guaranteed,
What, or gamble?
yeah,
gamble.
I'd gamble.
you gamble.
I'd gamble.
Gamble!
Yeah.
They're not taking the money, folks. They're not taking the money.
Maury's wigs never come off.
There's a video. There's a video in video clips in Brand, and I really want to play it, but I don't know what it is.
Do it.
What is
fuck
it?
Shall
What does it look like?
shall we run the roulette?
It'll be the J.
Fucking hell. Oh, Leeds have sold Rafinha and they've sold Calvin Phillips and they've brought in nobodies. Oh, they're going to
That's
struggle.
quite
How long's
accurate
O'Hara
fucking
been Scottish?
confession.
off.
Yeah. It was that one I clipped when I was taking piss out of Jay a while ago.
Oh,
I think that's the funniest thing he's ever said, you know, and still to this day, the only.
Well, oh dear. Right. I think we're going to
Right,
call it there, chaps. It's been an absolute fantastic episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining and for commenting and all that
See you
sort of
tomorrow.
stuff. Remember to
See you
tune in
tomorrow.
tomorrow, and we'll see you all there.